Throw it down, big man.
Welcome everybody back to the Throw It Down Big Fella podcast. And when I say God works in mysterious ways, he does. Like, we were getting ready to talk about the Graceland scam among scams. We were talking about the conference finals, but all that has to be on halt right now for this breaking news that happened probably within like an hour ago. The NCAA is paying college athletes. Like, where are the fireworks at? Like, what, Darren? What your reaction? I know you kind of woke up to it, like you kind of saw the alert.
Man,
Like,
it's a long time coming. And then, I mean, they didn't really have to. They didn't really have a choice at all, especially with the NIL and how crazy that was going. And it was going to a direction where it was literally turned to the Wild Wild West. So to get some checks and balances together, the NCAA was just like, all right, you know what? We're gonna try to get back to running things. So if y'all want to be paid, we'll pay you. But we still want to have the say so. We still want to be the parents. We still want to be the head honchos and blah 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 blah. So it's a long time coming. It's about time.
it's about time. It's about
Especially with the college football game coming out and stuff. So
right.
you saw
No, I was agreeing. You're right. I mean, this is a long time coming. Scholarship. So I think about this scholarships. Are scholarships gone? So I guess that's my next question coming up. Do you lose scholarships, or you just? Well, how does that process go now?
I mean,
Matt,
isn't that it? Isn't that still technically paying you though? You be. I feel scholarships. Okay, I feel like there was a difference between. Well, I guess you could have NIL scholarships. I guess maybe,
hmm hmm
but now you go back to that purified. All right, you can still be paid and still have your tuition paid for. But I think now what we're doing is we're also going to pay you on top of your full ride scholarship. You know.
You're right. I mean, I'm just so because I wrote like 3 essays in college about how college athletes should get paid, and it's just now like if I would have saw that back in 2008, that now 2024 that was gonna be the tail upon tail, I'll just be the NCAA have nothing. They have nobody to blame but themselves. Like this should have happened in the 1920s, like back. Like this shouldn't be a problem today. My thing is now, I guess, is women and men, the pay discrepancy. Like, I'm sure that's going to be a hot topic. Like, should men and women get
Oh,
paid
but
equal?
oh no, that's gonna be the next.
The
That's
next one,
definitely going to be the next issue. Is like, all right, so how do you divvy up? I mean, it's not only that. It's like, okay, so how do you divvy up the money between, of course, men versus women, and then on top of that, all right, so we all know. We're common sense. We all know football going to get the most money, basketball going to get the second most money, and then it's going to be like, all right, who's next? Is it
softball.
going to be soccer? Is it going to be baseball? Is it going to be,
I would think so.
softball?
Gymnastics. Yeah.
Is it going to be gymnastics? Is it going to be volleyball? Is it going to be track and field? Like at
Yeah.
that point, who then gets the most amount of money? But with this breaking news, it's not really about the college paying the athlete now. It's the actual like organization.
Right.
So I guess these athletes you can't really gripe too much
Mm-hmm.
because it's out of the university's hand at this point. You know?
Yeah. And it's also like I said, NCAA prevented this. They should have. They're greed. They're greed. They did not want to share anything with the players. None of the money. None of the jersey sales. None of the like the tickets. Like
Advertisements,
not
just yeah.
advertisement. They have nobody to blame but themselves. Like just just give the players what they deserve. Reggie Bush, all these, thank God he finally got his Heisman, by the way. I mean, but it's just you got to pay. You had to pay these folks, and
Right.
now that it's finally here, shout out to Ed O'Bannon. I mean, he was the first. I think he was the one to orchestrate this entire
Oh
thing.
yeah, it was all because of the
Ed
the,
O'Bannon.
the EA Sports video game. Yeah, I mean, it all started from there.
Right, right. Shout out to Ed O'Bannon. He will go down in history as the guy that orchestrated this movement of college athletes getting paid. I'm excited. I don't like you said, we don't know how, like I said, they're gonna divide the men, the women, the coaches. Look, the coaches are still gonna get paid regardless. The trainers, the managers, the assistants, they still get paid. It's just how you divide that among the players, like you said. That's gonna be a number one question going into. I don't even know when it's gonna start. Is it this year, next year? I don't know when this is gonna start, but you still got the NIL deals too. So this could really help and benefit those college athletes. And man, I'm thoroughly shocked. Like I think about like all the
It's
shocking moments.
definitely yeah.
This has to go up there in
It's
like top three, top five.
definitely a win for collegiate athletes.
Definitely, definitely.
I mean, it's up there with like title what we got Title 9 and
Yes,
is it
Title
Title 9
9,
or is it Title 11? I forget which one it
Title
is.
9, the Title 9.
It's up there with that. I mean, it's up there with almost. I mean, we're almost crossing Roe versus Wade territory.
Yeah,
This is like
yeah,
unprecedented type of like rulings and stuff. So
yeah,
it's definitely going to change the landscape of collegiate sports for forever.
yeah.
So
This is so
it's going to be very, very interesting.
shout out to all the NCAA. Now the question is, these former athletes, do they get some type of money? Some type of benefit check for playing back in the day, or is it
No,
just current
no,
athletes? See, that sucks.
no.
That sucks for these former
It's
college
current
athletes.
athletes. Come on now.
That sucks for them. My boy Fred Yancey, he was saying, "Do we get
It's
a little
just like
fight?"
is equivalent. Yeah. I mean, it's equivalent to folks who, for example, people who had bread,
Mm-hmm.
actually paid off their student debt, and then all of a sudden, student debt. You can't get your refund now. You already paid it all.
Right, right.
So that's how I feel about like the old athletes. It's just like, I'm sorry.
Mm.
It is what it is.
So they lose their scholarships. Like, do they have to start paying for their own boarding, like their own? Like, how does
I
that
really
work? Do
don't
they
think
pay
they're
for their
gonna lose their
classes?
scholarship. I
I
really feel
don't.
like
They're gonna keep
that's
it.
I feel like your scholarship is what the NIL is,
Hmm.
essentially.
Hmm. That's a trick. See, I want to celebrate,
Like,
but then there's so many other questions that come with this. Like,
what I think is what I think is I think they're going to get like quote unquote two paychecks. You're going to get one for the university, which is going to be your NIL and your scholarship, and you're going to get another one for the NCAA for like big advertisements and like the NCAA football game and just other stuff that they're going to use your name, image, and likeness for. They, as in the NCAA, not the university.
hmm well, it'd be interesting. What was I going to say? What was my other question? Does this improve college sports now? Now, are there going to be no more one and dones? Is it going to be less more than ones now because they're getting paid now? Like, does this actually help college
Uh,
sports? This ruling?
now that I feel like everybody should be getting a nice chunk of change now. So like, if you're like the sixth man, the eighth man on the team, now you're just like, oh, I don't feel too bad now that I'm not getting as much money as the other player. Now that the NCAA is coming in, so it may help in terms of like team chemistry, maybe. Uh,
Will it be less more than ones
Now
though?
regarding the one and dones and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think I
I
think
don't know.
so.
I think that's still to be determined.
I think we can
Because
have the return
at
of
this
like the
point, I
3 or 4.
mean,
Yeah.
what I mean, if I'm still going to get paid regardless what school I transfer to, why does it matter?
Why do you still want to like? Do you still want to go
Like,
one and done?
what?
I
Why? Yeah,
guess.
yeah. If I still want to go one and done, why
Mm,
does it matter? Now, it'll probably once again it'll probably matter regarding women versus men only because the WNBA is just not paying money right now like that. So
mm-hmm.
it's just like if you're a women basketball player, you're just like, okay, I could go ahead, cash out on this NIL deal and turn around and go ahead and get paid by the NCAA on as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's if the NIL is not nixed, whatever. But if the NIL is still going on, and then apparently you're going to get paid by the NCAA, why would I leave college basketball early for
Mm-hmm.
the WNBA when I can, potentially make more money that way?
Mm.
Because now, on top of that, now I feel like collegiate athletes can get endorsements now.
Yeah. Well.
Because that's what stopped. That was the original. That was the original claim. Like collegiate athletes are amateurs, not paid professionals.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
That was
Especially
always the
women.
stick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I,
and as soon as you got paid for that profession, you were ineligible for college sports. Well, for
right.
that college sport, you was ineligible. Like for example, J.R. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He can't go back to college to play NCAA for one, he ran out of eligibility years, and then I mean also he already got paid as a professional basketball player. But what he do? He went back to school and played golf.
Mm-hmm. And you guys, yeah. So now you have that. See, now you have that. So athletes, male athletes, NBA players, they can go back to can they go back in college and get some type of money, or is it just how does that could
If
that
they
work?
probably play a different sport, maybe.
See, that's oh gosh, that
If they played a different sport, maybe.
they have just the NCAA has
Now it's
opened
not
this
like
up.
you can be like, I don't know, like one of those one and done type of players that maybe, from Kentucky's big old championship team with what was it, Devin Booker and
Devin
Anthony
Booker and
Davis and
Demarcus Cousins, but yeah, Demarcus Cousins, all yeah,
right, like let's just say all of them wanted to go back to school and blah blah blah. I still maybe now because they still got some eligibility years left. Maybe they can go back to school and go play for the Kentucky Wildcats or any school really. You don't got to go back to Kentucky. So
mm, mm,
maybe that would open the door up for older collegiate athletes to come in, since there really wouldn't be any, I guess, restrictions on them anymore.
mm, interesting.
Now, would they
Interesting.
do that? I don't know. At that point, I feel like, bro, if I start seeing old NBA players start coming back to college playing ball, it would be cool because I mean they're only doing it for the educational purposes. It's not like they're like, oh, I'm chasing that bread, because I'm sure they made way more money in the association than going back to school and
Right.
getting paid by the NCAA and NIL. But it's still going to be something interesting to see if it does happen, because now it's turned into like that basketball tournament, that TBT basketball stuff
Right.
where they
And
have
I kind of like
all the
it.
alumni teams.
And I kind of like that too. I
Maybe
kind of like
that's
that.
what that's about to turn into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of it at first.
Potential.
I just thought I wasn't a fan of it because I thought all these folks are just money hungry, blah blah. But when I think about the certain players that were there, they had career ending injuries like torn ACLs, and now they want to go back to they lost their money, before because they just had the scholarship and the scholarship's gone. Now you could get well, they have money incentive in it, but now it's like after hearing those type of stories and seeing their journey and all that, I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand you now. Like I didn't get it at first, but I understand it. So I feel this is so beneficial for those 18 and 19-year-olds, like you said, who has a major injury and they just lose their scholarship. You don't get paid. Now you get some type of money. And now you can, I think,
Yeah.
try to get your degree or do something with it. Like I'm not saying just give them NBA type money. I never said that on my status of they should get paid. It should be like a $13 at like a minimal, not minimum wage, but like a in between paying gap. But not like NBA status. No,
Right.
if they had that type of money, they'll lose their damn mind. Like, like they would lose their everlasting mind. You could get like you imagine like me and you in a Rolls Royce. Like, how would we
Oh
act if we
my
had NBA?
lord.
If I had millions of dollars, how would we act in college? I I'd probably be dead. Like, so I'm not saying they should just break the bank with these folks, but just give them some type of breathing room. Because with student debt and with books and with classes and everything, like it could stranglehold anybody. So I'm
Hmm.
I'm just ecstatic, like they just got this done, and women too. It is a Will it surprise you if women's college basketball or college just women college sports gets paid more than WNBA or what's another women's league? WNBA. That's
I
it,
mean,
right?
you got the National Women's Soccer League,
Soccer
the
league.
soccer league that just
Okay,
started up, the
all right.
WNBA. Softball doesn't have a pro league right now, which is kind
No,
of sad, but
well,
that's
yeah,
another day for a different story.
right.
Um,
Oh, shout out to
I don't think
Toronto.
there's a.
Shout out to Toronto, by the way, getting the WNBA team. By the way, that's
Oh,
another type of
and
move.
and no no shout out to New York voting against that.
The New York Knicks. Well, I saw that it
It's
was 29. Was it 29-1?
yeah,
The Knicks were the one. Oh,
like bro, are y'all that salty? So
yeah,
y'all that salty that y'all
yes,
couldn't.
that's petty.
So I'll
That's
tell you about these New Yorkers, and I know we're getting off topic just a tad bit,
go
but let
ahead.
me tell you about these New Yorkers, bro. They so
Yeah,
stingy.
right.
Like, bro, y'all want two of everything, don't y'all? Y'all already got two football teams, you got two baseball teams, you got two hockey teams, you got two soccer teams. So now you want two WNBA teams, and you mad Toronto's going to get it before you get it?
Come on, man. Toronto ain't got nothing. They don't have a WNBA team. Let them have one at least. Like, I mean, like,
Bro, like get off and get off the soapbox.
you're right.
Build up the Liberty first,
That's what I'm
because they
saying.
still. It's not like it'll be different if the New York Liberty is was looking like what the Las Vegas Aces are looking like now.
Right. That's yeah. And
Then okay, I can understand you have enough there's enough market for another WNBA team to be there, because now the interest level is there now. I
mm-hmm.
promise you, Aces are probably selling more tickets than the Liberty are.
Yeah. And it's not a lot of, and it's just Las Vegas Aces and the Raiders, right? And the hockey team. That's it. So yeah, of course. And they back-to-back champions could be three-peat. Of course, they're gonna get the money. Everybody wants to watch them. I mean, um, we can get to WNBA our next episode. The Caitlin Clark thing is, it is. I don't know. I'm trying to be real easy with
Yeah,
it and
we'll
just
talk more about that later. Yeah,
I
just
I don't. I'm speechless. Like 0-5. Like not even like I think her points like 15, averaging no more than 4. I don't know. We'll get into Caitlin Clark's struggles on next episode,
I know. Yeah,
but we thank you guys for this emergency break. This is like an emergency breaking episode about this NCAA pay. This is historic. This is an historic day, and so we just want to thank you guys for allowing us to get our thoughts in. And when more information comes out, because there will be plenty more information coming more about this news, we will let you
okay.
guys know. But other than that, you guys, we're gonna wrap up this emergency pod episode. So we will see you guys next week. For my running mate, Darren, I am Greg. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace out.
Absolutely.
Throw it down, big man.